Getting to Know You, a weekly series highlighting the teachers and staff at Salem High School. And now your host, Salem High School Principal, Tracy Collyer.
Welcome back. Thank you for joining us for another episode. Today I am joined by Spanish teacher Rachel Petillo. So thank you, Rachel, for joining me.
Yeah.
How long have you been at Salem High School?
Oh my gosh, this is actually my 14th year.
Oh wow.
So-
And have you always taught Spanish or any other languages?
No, just Spanish.
Spanish.
And English, of course, I know.
In English. That's true. You have to know that. So tell us about your experience here at Salem High School.
Well, it's so amazing I haven't left,
Yeah.
right? I'm still here, and I really just couldn't picture myself anywhere else. I've had opportunities to go to places closer to home, but there's nothing like this Salem School District. I feel so at home here, and I think I work with some of the best people in the state of New Hampshire, and I just couldn't ever see myself being in a different world language department. The people that I work with are fantastic and so helpful in sharing resources.
Yeah.
And
I would agree. The world language department is really a close family within Salem High School, so that shows. So tell us about some of your experiences that you bring to the classroom, from Spanish-speaking countries.
Yeah, so people always want to know, are you Spanish? That's the number one question that students ask, and even parents, and I say, no, I really love the language, and so I took Spanish in high school, and I obviously did really well, and I loved it, and then I decided I want to go to college in Spain. And my parents were not very happy about that. They did not want me going far, but I did I told them I would do a year abroad. And when I went there, I learned so fast. It was probably 3 months being immersed in the culture. And one thing I like to tell my students that struggle with the grammar is it's okay. You don't have to be a grammarian to be able to grasp the language. You can go anywhere. You can do a study abroad program for a semester, and you can become fluent. And I really, really want to push that onto them so that they understand that even if they're not getting an A in my class, that doesn't mean that they won't be successful in learning a language.
So I know it must be different teaching high school students of language versus younger children. They always say you should learn young. And you have 3 children of your own. Do you teach them Spanish at home?
Yes, I try to. It was a lot easier with my first because it was just me and her and Spanish all the time. But as soon as she started going to school full-time, she was just listening to English all day, and that was really difficult. So she started understanding less and less, and it was so sad. I still really try to speak Spanish with them, but sometimes it's too crazy.
Hard, yeah. So now you're in your new rooms, finally. Yes. I know the last couple of years you guys have been bounced around from temporary space to temporary space, and I know it's been difficult. So how is it being in the new space?
I can't even tell you the difference between last year and this year. It is so amazing. It's beautiful, and I think we all feel it. There's a different sense in the building. We all are decorating our classrooms and making it so nice, and even the students, I think, are really being careful with how they act in the classroom. And the new space is just beautiful. Having the projectors, just being able to really connect and throw up maps of Spain when we're talking about the city and have the technology right there. It's just so awesome, and I'm definitely happier this year and so happy in my new space, I have to say.
Oh, that's good. I know it was a tough road for a lot of people, and when you walk by, I love where the world language department is. You kind of have your own little corner of Salem High School, which is really
with
neat.
Little benches, and the kids can go out there and practice their skits.
When we put you there, that's what I thought of is you guys, because I remember in the old building, if students wanted to step out of the class and practice, they would be sitting on the floor. There was no place and this is perfect for you guys. It's really nice, and it's nice when you walk by in all of the windows and the learning on display, because you guys really do. Your rooms are decorated so well.
Yeah, we have all our Day of the Dead stuff up right now.
Yeah. Now, where are you from? Are you from Salem?
I'm from the area. I grew
Okay.
up mostly in Danville and
Okay.
Kingston.
Okay. So you knew Salem High School before you came
Oh,
here?
definitely.
Oh, you say that like
Oh, yes, because the band, the Salem band, was always number one. And 'cause Timberlane also has a really great music
They do.
program, but we always were sort of rivals.
Oh, God.
And I went to Timberlane, so
Oh, well, we'll
Yes.
forgive you for that. At
Right.
least you're here now.
I'm here now, right? Salem all the way.
Oh, God, that's funny. So how do you plan with the other world language teachers when you've got Mrs. Cox is teaching German and our new French teacher, Mr. Pelosi, is teaching French? I mean, that's kind of difficult to plan together with the teachers.
Yeah, well, luckily we do have the same lunch period, which is great. So we are together for at least 25 minutes each day, which also didn't happen, when we were spread around the
Yeah.
building, but it does now. We're back together now, and there's just a lot of informal check-ins. But oftentimes, right now we're rolling out a new curriculum for level 2 and or level 3. We did 2 last year. Linda Koffel and I work very closely
Yeah.
together, and we do a lot of planning together.
So why is world language important for high school students? Why do you think?
Oh man, that's a loaded question.
I know, but I'm going to ask it.
Well, I think the biggest thing is, first of all, for them to know where Spanish is spoken in the world. And I think they're always surprised to know that there are 21 countries that list Spanish as their official language. And then to learn a little bit more about those places. Students often get so much American history, they're not exposed as much to global issues and global topics, maybe just in global studies. So it's just another way that they really get a sense of what's going on in the rest of the world. And that is super important. You know, we have to all be able to work together, and many of them will go on to have jobs where Spanish will be really important for them. In our community alone, we have so many native speakers of Spanish, and it can help in so many different fields, especially the medical field. And a lot of our students are, involved, want to be nurses, doctors.
That's
so
true.
It's just a good skill.
Even here, we'll have someone come in, a parent, and at times we will need, a translator, just to help them feel comfortable in a meeting with
Absolutely.
us. And it is helpful to have that.
Yeah, and some of us do help out in those meetings
You
when
do.
we can.
You
Yep.
do. We know exactly where to go to get help.
Yeah.
So, how do you want your students to remember you as a teacher, and if they were in your class during the time at Salem High School?
Well, it's really important to me to develop a relationship with my students, and I would say that when they look back, I want them to remember that I cared about them, and not just their success in my class, but success in their lives. And I think that it's really neat when a student can come to you and ask for advice with their job. They're unhappy, what do they say? Or with college, or they want to study abroad, or even boyfriend advice.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really neat, and that relationship is so important.
Yeah. I think it definitely helps make them feel comfortable. And you teach students grades 9 through 12?
I do.
You
Yeah,
do.
I get them all.
So you have, wide range of students with
do.
wide range of issues, or just
Yes.
things to discuss with you, which is
Right,
great,
right.
is great. What is your vision for the World Language Department at Salem High School? Like, where do you see it going in the next couple years? Because education's changing.
It is, yes, and I hope it continues to grow. I know a lot of other districts have cut out certain languages, and I'm really happy that we still have German and Latin and French and Spanish, and I hope that we continue in that way, and maybe even add a language.
Which language would you like to see added? Do you think the students might find fun?
Well, it would be a challenge, but maybe Mandarin. I know there is
Oh,
interest,
wow.
and there's also interest in Italian. That would be kind of neat.
Oh, yeah.
And I also try and learn Italian, so it would maybe challenge me too.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, all right. Well, thank you for joining me, Rachel. It's been great meeting you, and thank you for joining us, and we'll see you again next time.
This has been a Salem School District Media Services presentation. Watch this and all SSD media programs anytime on any device at ssdtv6.com. For Salem School District Television, I'm Marty McHugh.